Yo, Bracy Skills Clinic's back with another video. Top of the morning, man. It's bright and early. I had to do this video, man. It's been 2 games since I did the last video on the Spurs, and Victor Wembanyama. Last video I did was after the opener, after they lost to Dallas. So I got 2 games to basically summarize since my last video. So, excuse me, I had a sugar donut, so excuse the crumb. But Friday's game against Houston and then last night's game against the Clippers. So my biggest 2 takeaways from those 2 games overall for the Spurs is we're going to have to be very patient with the Jeremy Sochan point guard experiment. How can I put this? I know it's only 3 games. I'm still intrigued by the lineup because I do understand they're going to have a lot of things to figure out on both sides. I think defensively they look pretty fine defensively. The problem is more in particular, from last night's game against the Clippers, the problem is that lineup is turning the ball over so much because there's not a lot of paint touches with that group. So there's nobody in that lineup that's really breaking their defenders down and getting into the paint to create open shots. So as a result, what you saw, especially the start of that Clipper game last night, is you're seeing a lot of live ball turnovers off, passing cross court, post entries, passes getting deflected. Then even when we do get shots, it's always a contested shot. We had a couple open corner threes that they missed early, but it's just not a lot of breaking their man down, getting to the paint. Guy helps. You kick the ball out to the wing or the perimeter. You know what I'm saying? It's just not a lot of – you don't see a lot of movement with that lineup with Sochan at the point. And then versus when you see Trey Jones comes in, Trey Jones instantly gets in the game. He's able to create paint touches, which makes it easier for guys like Victor, Keldon. Devin can create his own shot. I think that's probably the only one in the starting lineup that I would say can get his shot off. But it's not going to be Spurs basketball if we just say Devin Vassell 75% of the time, just give the ball to Devin and he just go get a bucket and figure it out. It's not how the Spurs system works. So I think what we're going to have to be patient with is just Jeremy Sochan going through the lumps. Like, we can't expect Sochan to play a new position at his size and just excel right away. He's going to go through some growing pains, and I think we've seen that the first 3 games. I don't even think Jeremy Sochan scored a point last night. I'm still very high on him. I just think there's just not a lot of paint touches with that first group. So I think that's the biggest takeaway from the 2 games. Now, as far as Victor Wembanyama, he was amazing on Friday. We saw his greatness, and then we saw him struggle a little bit yesterday. I'm going to say this. The way the Spurs are playing him as far as, minutes, keeping him, under 30 for the most part, he's going to have up and down scoring numbers. I think I can realistically see Victor averaging somewhere around, 16 to 18 a game. I think the expectations was so high to where people thought he was going to just come in and just average 25, 30 points a game. And it's not realistic. As good as he is, as great and amazing as he is, it's not realistic because of the way the Spurs are playing him. They're not just letting him play 30, 35 minutes. So if he's getting between 20 to 28 minutes a game, then you're going to see games where he puts up, 21 and 11 like he did against Friday. And there's going to be some games where, like last night, he's not able to find a rhythm and he might only score 11. Then there might be games like opening night where he gets in foul trouble and then he might go on a run and end up with, 15? And then some nights he might end up in foul trouble and may not score more than 10. I'm not saying all of it is acceptable for a guy that we think is going to be the face of the NBA one day. But I just think for this year, if the Spurs are going to keep playing him, between 23 to 28 minutes a night, he's not going to have over-the-top stats. I think that's something that we all have to accept until we see Victor get heavier minutes and in the game for longer stretches. I think every game he's like the first sub, always. He's always the first sub that comes out. You see Keldon and Vassell out there a little bit longer, but Victor's always usually like the first sub. So I just have to put that out there for my fantasy people. If you're expecting Victor to come in year 1 and average 25 and 15, it's probably not going to happen. He's not playing the minutes that's going to allow him to do that consistently. So, we'll see how the Spurs bounce back. It was their first road game. We got to go through the growing pains. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be easier on Tuesday. They got Phoenix. So I just want to see how we respond. Win or lose, I want to see how the Spurs come out and respond against another good team in the Phoenix Suns. So, yeah, man, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to get my day started, get a workout in. Got work later on, man. Let's get to it.